we're planning, we're taking ground, we're investing in our realtors and our referral partners. We're bringing value, more value than we have before. And not that we should, not that we do it more because we can, we do it more because they want it, they need it.
Yeah.
And so just seeing this thing turn is really exciting.
Hey, well, welcome back. This is Michael Kuntz with Tom Talk. And I got to tell you guys, it's been quite some time since we had the chance to actually do a Tom Talk. And so if you're going to get back into this, there's really no better way than to do it with one of the top performers in your company and also one of the top performers, quite frankly, in this industry. And so today I'm privileged to be able to have a conversation with John Pickenick, Pasinich. How do we say it, John?
You know, there's many different ways you can say it. The easier way just to remember is just picnic. That seems to be the Texas way. That's kind of grown accustomed here in Texas. So picnic is just fine.
And we've got to simplify things sometimes for us Texans. We got to slow it down so that's easy to remember. So, well, John, thank you, man. It's awesome to be with you. And I just, a big heartfelt thank you to everything you do for our company. You really make us better every day. So thank you. On that note, how long have you been with us? How long have you been with Trinity Oaks?
Yeah. So first off, thank you, Michael, for having me on today. It's a pleasure and an honor to serve you as our leader and our fearless leader by that, and to run this company the way you do. It makes all of our jobs easier. So I know on behalf of everybody at Trinity Oaks, we appreciate you as well. Thank you. As far as how long I've been at Tom, I started in January of 2020. It was a transition for me. Come from a different on the broker side, and just things were getting a little different on the broker side. Met a dear friend of mine a few months prior to coming on to Trinity, and his name is Mr. Todd Reynolds. He's another fearless leader of ours that goes to bat for us every day, day in and day out. So Todd and I talked for several months. He never pushed me to come over, just kind of laid it all out, and this is kind of who we are. And there was one phone call that he had with an executive management gentleman and himself, and I was sitting in the car, and the executive at the time asked if, hey, would you pray for this real quick? We had the situation pop up, and I was in the car, and we were on Bluetooth, and we're coming back from a coaching event, and man, it still gives me chills today because of that experience I had that day riding back with Todd. I'm like, okay, all right, this is a match made in heaven for me. So, that's what got me even closer and got me even more interested to come over to Tom. And then once we came in, there's a shift. There's always a transition that takes a little bit of time, but over time, you start to learn each other's attributes and what works, what doesn't, what's the good fit, how does it operate. And once we figured that out, it was only a couple of months later, we were smooth sailing and crushed it in 2020, crushed it in 2021, and here we are in 2022, still doing really well.
2022, right? Man, that is, I have talked to so many people, and my story is not dissimilar. When I came from, coming from the executive world out there and then coming into Trinity Oaks, I had a very similar story. There is a difference inside of these four walls, and obviously you were able to see that right away. So I've got a two-part question for you. How long have you been in this crazy industry, and did you begin your career in mortgage, or did mortgage find you like it does a lot of us?
I think about that a lot, and the reason why I think about it is I wish I would have started earlier. So it did not. Was not my first choice in careers. I started off in the auto industry. Actually, just hired one of my guys that actually helped me train in the auto industry, and now it's full circle, almost 19 years later, and he's now come on board. But it started in the auto industry. I learned a lot on how to treat people, how to take care of them, what kind of personalities we're dealing with, and did real well. 6 months I was in a little Toyota dealership, and for almost 10 years I worked for Park Place. And I got to tell you, that was the best learning experience I've ever had, and got paid to do it, and
Yeah.
did well. Started off in car sales, went into finance, basically did really, really well in finance for a few years. And, for unfortunate reasons, I had to leave the car business. My wife wasn't doing too well and took some time off. So I had to leave the car business and wasn't sure exactly where I was going to go. And a buddy of mine just gave me, we went to dinner one night and he's like, "Hey man, why don't you come join us in at this mortgage company?" And I thought, well, why not? What could it hurt? So he hired me back in 2013. I think it was October. Was with him for just about a year. So I've been in the industry for almost 9 years. It'll be in October. And I got to tell you, it's the best career decision I've made in a very, very long time. So,
Well, the industry's lucky to have you. So Tom's lucky to have you. So thank you for being a part of it. So as you look back over that career and you think about the auto industry, the mortgage industry, even, just what is the one thing that you wish, man, if I'd have known that, I may have done that differently, or what's the one thing you wish you had known?
yeah, I wish, there's probably two or three things that I wish I would have known. Maybe not one, but there's at least two. One, I wish I would have known about having coaches surround me, teaching me the steps, teaching me the
Huge.
process, teaching me how to progress forward, how to grow, how to scale. I wish I would have known that starting off. That came in about 7 years later, and I'm telling you, once that happened, and you surround yourself around like-minded people that are not only doing what you do but do it better, it just makes you better. I remember doing this in basketball. I remember when I was 12, 13 years old, and I'd be playing basketball against 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and I can see myself, I can feel myself. I was getting better playing against those that were better than me. So it's the same thing in the mortgage business. It's who you hang around with is who you become or better. And so I wish I would have known to surround yourself around people that will coach you, scale your business, show you how to grow sooner than waiting 7 years. Number two was the amount of time it takes to build the business. I wish I would have known it would have taken that long to start that business, right? So I wish I could have shortened that up a little bit. The beginning's always a little bit of a struggle, but they always say at least cover yourself for about 2 years. And luckily, we were okay. We did okay. We kind of we walked, we got through it, and so the two things would be coaches and true timing of what this business was like starting off. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would have hoped was different.
That's wisdom, man. There's a lot of folks on hopefully that'll listen to this call that'll take from that. It takes a lot of building, but it also takes investing in yourself. Sometimes when you don't think, maybe you don't even have the two nickels you need to rub together. It's kind of like tithing, right? He
Yep.
gets the first 10, right? But
Right.
but I agree. I think I look back at my career too, and I'm very thankful for people pushing me towards that coaching because it makes a fundamental difference in who you are. So that's
Huge.
awesome. Is there one person that you look at and you say, man, that person, either professionally, personally, both, has really just been someone you'll never forget?
As far as personally, it's different than professional. So personally, I would say my wife has huge impact on my career, me being who I am. I mean, she knows me in and out, so she knows exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know how she does it. She knows what I'm thinking. She knows what I'm feeling. She's, "Hey, you need to stop that. You need to do this." She has helped me build me up to the person I am today, as far as on a personal level. And for that, I'm forever grateful for. On the professional side, I can't say there's just one person because there's so many people that I've surrounded myself around. Coaches from one group, coaches from another group. I mean, coaches from all over the country that we get to collaborate, once a month, once every couple of weeks. People I reach out to, "Hey, I'm having a problem here. How do I fix this? How do I do this better?" So it's having that ability to be able to reach out to those that know more than I do and get that wisdom from them and pull it back in and say, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do now." So it's hard to say that it's just one person because it's really a collaborative of so many.
Good, man.
I probably at least 8 to 10 people that I've surrounded myself around
And it sounds
continually
like you
to help build.
continue to surround yourself. You keep
And I'm
surrounding yourself.
always, yeah, always. I mean, that's the only way I feel good. It makes me feel good. It teaches me, and it helps me then train my loan officers the way I'm being trained. So it's a shortcut for them because I know what we need to do, and they don't have to go through those 5 to 6, 7 years of struggle to try to figure it out. We've got it all figured out. We got people. We have access. We have ability to reach out to people to be able to do that. So professionally, definitely is a wide range of people.
That's good, man. And that's good counsel too. I think, if we're not constantly building that network of close knit, like minded people that we can trust, and more importantly, that trust is the key, but more importantly, that we can share our ideas, whether it's secret sauce or not, and they can share theirs, because there's obviously plenty for everybody to go around. But it's just keeping that competitive edge and advantage. And so, John, you do that so well, and I commend you on it. I love the meeting of, growing is more fun when you do it together. And
that's right.
And that's something you lead, which is awesome. So we're thankful for that.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the industry for a second. So, yeah, you're an originator. You're more than that. You get up every day and you're helping people find their way home. That's what we do here, is our brand vision. But what's the biggest misconception about a loan officer?
I mean, I've got two that probably stand out the most to me. One is that our job is easy, and two, that we're lazy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of loan officers that are lazy, and that kind of gives us the bad stigma of all loan officers, and that's not true. Our job is not easy. We have to understand guidelines. We've got to be able to put files through underwriting. We have to be able to market ourselves in a way that's different than everyone else. Understanding, keeping up to date with current matters. I mean, those things are continually having to learn and understand and be able to continue growing, not only as a loan originator, but helping those referral partners grow their business at the same time.
That's right.
And what gives them the competitive edge to do what they do coming from me. And so that's the value that we always try to bring. Hey, this is what we're doing right now. Why don't you try this out, see how it works? And real estate agents are real open to learning what our business is about, how we can help them grow their business. So it's a mutual thing. And then they'll come back and say, hey, what about we try this? It's just an open collaboration of continued conversation over time that establishes that relationship. So I'm not lazy. I can tell you that. And our job is not easy. So
no, that's good. I think you get into industries or times like 2020. And of course, that's when everybody wants to jump into the business, no matter if you're a loan officer or a real estate agent. It's like the, order taking. But I agree with you. You're helping, you're creating wealth for people, right? You're creating financial wealth and wellness, which is, this is still the biggest investment that most people in our country are ever going to make. And that's not an easy task when you're talking about trying to create that wealth for somebody. And I agree with you. I see how you continue to bring constant value to your referral partners. We talked about it earlier today. You're busy right now because you're busy helping them think differently about their business. And that's the value you bring, so that they'll bring you business. And it's a great partnership. So we've been on a wild ride for the last 2.5 years. I think I alluded to 2020. You saw the business before that. I've been in this business since '96. I honestly don't know if you can look at a 3-year run and go, man, that was normal and stable, right? I mean, we saw the two biggest years in the history of our industry. And of course, now we're seeing, I would say, an overcorrection in our industry. But John, talk to me about, from your lens, at least the people you're serving and the partnerships you've got, what do you think is in store for us in this business over the next 6 months? Are we stabilizing? Are we starting to feel some momentum out there? Talk about it.
Yeah, sure. This is just my opinion, but things slowed down quite a bit here, and early summer, midsummer, kind of felt like it went to a little bit of a halt sometime in late June. But we just kept doing what we were doing, and so we just kept making our phone calls. We kept giving our value to our referral partners, and all of a sudden, you kind of feel a little swing that we've hit that bottom, maybe midsummer, and it's starting to swing back up. And I just kind of read an article, and it stated that 22%, our inventory is up 22% to where we were just a few months ago. So inventory's up. Inflation is starting to curb
Yeah.
with the Fed raises the last 2 consecutive months. Over the last 60 days, we had two Fed raises, both of them at 75 basis points. What are they trying to do? They're trying to curb inflation. What happens when you curb inflation? Mortgage-backed securities, bonds start to go up. As bonds continue rising, rates do the invert, rates come down. So inventory's high, rates are coming down. Are we stabilizing? Do we have a little bit more of an upward trend for the mortgages on the mortgage bond security side, and are rates going to come down? I think they will. I think rates are going to come back down to maybe in the upper fours, low, maybe mid fours, maybe in the next 3 to 4 to 5 months. That's my opinion. That's me watching the charts. That's what I study. I love charts. I love financial charts. I love my moving averages, support levels. I've studied this for a long time, so I kind of have an idea of what this looks like. And can it change? Can it overcorrect? Yes, it can. But I feel good about it. The sentiment is good. It's positive. It's starting to turn. I think we bottomed out. And just talking to a few guys just recently, they're getting busy. I mean, people are getting busier, and so I feel really good. And these downtrends, these low times don't last very long.
Yeah.
They're pretty short, 6, 12 months, usually maybe 18 is max. What happened right as COVID hit? We had a big dip and boom, bounced right back up. So I feel pretty good about what's going to happen here in the future. And we're planning, we're taking ground, we're investing in our realtors and our referral partners. We're bringing value, more value than we have before. And not that we should, not that we do more because we can, we're doing more because they want it, they need it.
Yeah.
And so just seeing this thing turn is really exciting. Building up another couple loan officers, building their business at the same time. We have one loan officer making 50 calls on Monday, 50 calls on Wednesday. I mean, the kid is a machine, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. He's getting appointments, he's getting contracts. There's business out there to be had. And so I'm real optimistic about it.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. I actually had a chance to deliver today to our entire leadership team at the family of companies, our growth playbook. And it's good to see optimism even in from the Mortgage Bankers Association, from Fannie and Freddie, to see that rate environment is starting to stabilize, and their predictions are that we should see it coming down. Will it be historical lows like we saw? Not very likely, but hey, I think there's still plenty of business to be had out there in the mid fours and even upper fours. So it's great to hear from you. So you're here at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. We're glad you're here at Trinity Oaks Mortgage, but talk to us about what Trinity Oaks Mortgage means to you and how we're helping you, because I look at you as a business partner, right? How we're helping you to continue to grow personally and professionally in your career.
Yeah. When I heard that one phone call when I was sitting in the car with Todd driving home, it kind of, like I said, it gave me the chills, and there was something inside of me that had a craving for a culture of that type. And being a believer myself, it was, I haven't seen that in any business. People are, they are who they are, and but to really be as foundational with the culture of Trinity Oaks Mortgage really attracted me. I was kind of craving it, and when I found out and what it was really like when I got in here, and taking care of working with ops teams, loan processors, and even you helping me with getting started, and Todd, and just everybody had such a caring and helping hand. It's hard to walk away from. You guys make it really hard to walk away from. So
it's a high quality problem.
So I mean, it's different. It's very, very different, and in a positive way. All the way from from John down, from the head down. This isn't just Trinity Oaks. This is the CEO of our companies. He's just pushing in a way that is unlike any other company. And it's so encouraging to be able to be a part of something that has a bigger picture than just doing loans. It's about helping people find their way home, and there's a twofold for that. And you can read into that yourself and figure it out. But we help people find their way home, and again, it's twofold. So it's just a wonderful time to be here. Everybody, I may have caused some ruffles starting off just to kind of get things started, but it's all worked out, and it didn't take long. And I learned how to deal with your process. You all learned how to deal with my process, and it works very, very well now. It's a well-oiled machine, and when you can close in 8 days, 9 days, come on. What other company? I mean, this company's out there that do it, but they say they do it, but no, we're actually doing them. So that's encouraging. That's like going back to car days. That's me selling cars the same day. I can close a house in a week. So no, it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm humbled to be a part of the group. I feel very good about the future, and just overly humbled by the feedback that I get from everybody that I do loans for, because the things we do aren't what other people do as far as our gifting sequence. So no, it's been a huge blessing, and I will probably say I'm probably your biggest cheerleader as far as Trinity Oaks comes when it comes to mine. So
wow,
thank you.
No, that's awesome, man. And like I said, we met in the middle on processes, and I said you made us better at the very beginning. You do. You make us better, and the folks that we brought on continue to make us better as a company. John, you're one of the best. You really are. We appreciate. We love you, man. We look forward to great things for you personally, and the things that you'll continue to do for the customers you serve, and certainly for the family of companies here. So, thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate you.
Bet me, man. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you.